Hello again and welcome to the program. In our first story, hearing of the case involving Ghanaian lady Nayeli Ametepe, who was busted in the United Kingdom for smuggling 12.5 kilograms of cocaine, has been shifted from Monday, January 5 to Tuesday, January 6, 2015. Now, this case opened on November 27, 2014 in London, but was moved to January 2015 to enable the prosecutor to establish whether the substance that Ametepe was carrying was indeed cocaine. I spoke earlier on News Desk with a man on the ground, Sifat Chum, who says there is speculation among the Ghanaian community in London over reports Nayeli may change her plea from guilty to not guilty when she reappears Tuesday. Sifa?
Hello.
Obviously, mid-morning, how are people reacting to the shift in court dates from today to tomorrow?
Well, there are many, and it has also waken up some sort of speculations as to why the date has to be moved from today to tomorrow. Speculations are that Ametepe is going to change his plea from guilty to not guilty. People are reading some meaning into it, some of which are...
And that perhaps he has realized that there is a need for her to tell everything that has to do with the case or the smuggling of the cocaine. People are also saying that she wants to mention names. She doesn't want to go to prison alone. And there's a whole lot of things that's going on here in the UK. I listened to radio this morning on Ghanaian radio stations, and that has been what people are just speculating. People are also wondering why there was some governmental intervention during her arrest. So all these are coming to play regarding the change in the case.
Well, here in Ghana, the trial of hip live artist Emmanuel Botwe, popularly known as Kokese, has been adjourned to 6th February 2015. At the last hearing, the Kumasi Circuit Court, presided over by Judge William Boampong, granted him bail on health grounds. He is standing trial for allegedly smoking publicly a substance suspected to be Indian hemp. The artist was arrested by the police in Kumasi on November 22, 2014. Let's get more on this from our regional correspondent Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin, who's joined me over the telephone. Nuruddin.
Hello, Kemini.
What more can you tell us about what went down in court today?
Okay, the prosecution wasn't ready to continue with the case today. Purposely because it didn't come with eight witnesses, and it was also due to Kokese's unstable health condition. So we spoke to the lawyer of the accused, Kwesi Boate, right? And he said that it was a collective agreement between the prosecution and then the counsel for the accused to adjoin the matter to allow the accused, that is Kokese, to see his doctors. And so that was why the case was adjoined.
I see. Tell us about, was Kokese in court today?
He was.
So tell us about his demeanor today.
Well, he came with his own car, and I see him driving. He drove himself away, and he was somehow okay. He was okay today. Yeah, and I must say that today wasn't like the previous days that we witnessed so many people at the court. Today there were some few people who came. It probably could be that because he has been granted bail. And there were also the big guys, his colleague musicians, who came in previous days to give him moral support. There were no people like that today. So, I mean, the court was somehow, the premises was somehow empty, not like previous days.
I see. And so prosecution's inability to present its witness at the hearing today prompted the judge to adjourn the hearing to 6 February 2015. How does counsel for Kokese or Kokese himself feel about this?
Well, he told us, like I said, he told us that it was a collective agreement, and one of the key points they considered was the unstable condition of Kwaukesi, and so he told us in an interview that was a collective agreement between the prosecution and the council for Kwaukesi.
Very well. What is the explanation for unstable condition of Kwaukesi?
Well, he didn't brief us on that, but he said he has to go back to Accra and see his doctors. But looking at him, he walked from the court about some few minutes, I can say about 2 minutes, to his car, and he drove away. And since he should be able to drive his car, I think it will be okay now. That's the observation I've made.
Very well. We'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much for that update. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin joined us from the Ashanti region. We can now look at some other stories. Motorists who ply the main road linking Kaswa to Bom and neighboring communities say the deplorable roads make it difficult for them to convey residents to the central business district of Accra for business activities. Residents, apart from wasting productive time struggling to reach their destinations, have also had to contend with excessive dust that pose serious health risks to them.
This is how bad the major road linking the Kaswa Road to communities including Old Fadama, Adamnana, Domiabra, Denchra and Obom is. The stretch is untarred and dotted with potholes, while constant erosion from each downpour leaves the road with huge trenches. The difficulty motorists face in plying this route is glaring. Commercial driver John Crab was spotted busily attending to his taxi, which had developed a fault owing to the bad nature of the road. He had to give off his passengers and eventually lose the fare charged. For John Crab, such an incident is a daily ritual plying the stretch. He has been doing this for 7 years.
Maybe to qua 4 20 baby. Tia Kwan Papa dia Baboy can qua 40 be any ember. O my boka, because 2 engines in foot 20 moments in Ama engine Ukraine be 3 months in so say and Sisabam as Kwan Papa and Cadibiano.
Other motorists are equally frustrated.
Makana mokwa and me ko say economic shop. Sisi me move right here pass na boom sa say fere say yan firi ni edua nsuo ta na san ba ma say we yan fere enti obedwuri a sa na tie koro na say dey afere nsheda anya papa ma he unse manim say am futuro enya agoro.
Residents complain the state of the road is worsened when it rains, while during the Harmattan season the dust is just unbearable. They contend many commercial drivers are discouraged using the route and passengers are left stranded without vehicles.
6 years and 8 years near Kwana Sense to then sooner Kwana say Carlson to me Kwana Bisuba. I thought that's we have a cocaswana far from because Kwana Yanti Council to me call about. I bet now almost 8 years in a Kwana de Atianity. They be an omode and le Ochna. Afiwe ombabeye afiwe ombabeye ye dina sisi akroma shebo say ombabeye but ye hu san bia nti ama drivers ni be de kura mpo sisi emfa so omunya adwuma because of Kwana say nti ye bere wa say ye benya wo ma be sra ye free crew.
For now, residents here can only bear the brunt of this awful road as they wait for authorities to come to their aid sooner than later and connect them to the central capital. Abigail Atomakunchi for Joy News.
You're watching News Today. There's more to come here. Don't go away. For staying here on News Today. Moving on, a group of 4 highway robbers have attacked and robbed passengers traveling from Chifopraso to Kumasi at the outskirts of Adiambra on the Chifopraso-Asimfosu Road. Ohiming Terrier has joined us from the area over the telephone to give us more information on this. Hello, Ohiming.
Hello, Kevin.
What more can you tell us about this robbery?
Yes, according to information I picked from victims of this particular incident, 4 highway robbers wielding AK-47 assault rifles stopped the Sprinter bus, which was here heading to Kumasi from Chifopraso, and just at the outskirts of Adiambra, located inside the forest. That is where the robbers stopped the vehicle, and they shot sporadically until the driver of the bus, Moro, ran into the bush, and they forced the passengers to lie face down while they searched each one of them and collected money that was in their possession. And I'm told apart from the money, they also collected their mobile phones and other belongings. So that is what happened. But I must also report that one person who is yet to be identified was shot in the motor after the robbers shot sporadically. They shoot sporadically into the air and also onto the vehicle. So as we speak now, the robbers have no option but to return to their base at Chifopraso empty-handed, my sister.
I see. How involved is the police in this matter?
Actually, the unfortunate situation is that I missed this particular bus. I was in the area. I've been working on some stories in the area. So early this morning, I made an attempt to get on board to catch this particular vehicle. But unfortunately for me, I missed it. So on the way, that is when the driver called the driver of the next bus that I was in to inform him of what has happened to them. So we came to meet the passengers and the other victims on the way with all the people involved. So at the time I was leaving the area, police had not visited the crime scene, though the matter has been reported. And let me also emphasize that this is becoming an annual ritual, because according to residents of Chifopraso and the people that were in the other bars, they said that every year the robbers will come and attack them, especially on the way, especially when it's New Year or Christmas. So as we speak now, I have not been able to speak to the police, but the driver indeed confirmed to me that he has been to the police to report the matter to the police.
Right. And so this passenger who sustained gunshot injury, what do you know about the whereabouts of that passenger?
Yes, I met him and other passengers just on the way a few minutes after the incident. So when I spoke to him, he was traumatized. And even at that time, he told me he's a Nigerian national. He was in the company of his other brothers. They have been in the area for almost 10 years, and they were visiting their country for the first time. But unfortunately, they were robbed on their way between Chifopraso and Asimfosu. So he was a bit traumatized, and according to him, he was going back to Chifopraso, where we have opportunity to also get money to seek treatment, because at that time they were in the bush, right inside the forest. There was no way he could have gone back to Asimfosu, because after the incident, they were brought back to Adiambra for the driver to rise to Asimfosu, where he lodged a complaint. So he was going back to the Chifopraso to seek medical attention.
I see. And the rest of the passengers, what would you say?
Yes, they left the scene back to Chifopraso empty-handed. Majority of them were traders who were traveling to Kumasi to buy their wares and then also sell to their customers. But unfortunately for them, they had to go back home empty-handed. One woman who deals in shoes told me how much she has lost to the robbers. According to her, she even tried and attempted to conceal the money in her underwear, but unfortunately for her, the robbers, upon a search, collected that money from her. It amounts to about 4,000 Ghana cedis. So you can imagine how much the traders have lost in this particular robbery incident.
Very well, we'll leave it here for now and get back to you for more in subsequent broadcasts with regards to how the police is dealing with this. Thank you very much, Ohiming. Ohiming Terrier joined us from the Ashanti region. Well, Member of Parliament for Ayensiano, Samuel Aipai, has welcomed move by the Controller and Accountant General's Department to withhold salaries of workers who do not have Social Security and National Insurance Trust numbers on their payslips. The Controller and Accountant General's Department has said with effect from April 2015, valid SNIT numbers will be mandatory for workers on the mechanized payroll to access their salaries.
I'm very surprised Controller and Accountant General is coming out with this, saying that they are not going to pay workers who don't have a Social Security number on their payroll. This means that they were, for all this while, paying workers without Social Security numbers. That is in itself an offense, because the law states clearly that no one can employ more than 4 people without paying them the Social Security. Once you have a company that employs more than 4 people, you should. And even the new act is even demands that individuals can also go. So once even if it is less than 4 and the people wish to have their Social Security number, why not? But it becomes an offense, serious one, that sends Aguide and co that we know to court. So what is government and then the Controller Accountant General is telling us? Are they saying that they still, as we speak, pay people without having Social Security number? They should come again, because I don't get a point. They should come and explain to us. I don't see why somebody working in the government sector should receive salary without Social Security. It means, what it means is that people will go to pension and they will still not benefit from the Social Security. And we must also understand the system. At the end of every month, the government calculate the number of workers that on his payroll and pay their percentage to the SNIT, the Social Security National Insurance Trust. The question is, if indeed some of the workers don't have Social Security numbers, so how can government pay, or how do government pay the SNIT in the for all this long? So I'm of the view that we should look at our data system again, especially the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. The SNIT must take a critical look at the data system. Likewise, the Controller and Accountant General Department, they should take a critical look at their data system, because if you have 600,000 workers, we must know that at the end of the day, I should have 600 Social Security accounts of which I'll pay this money to. Social Security SNIT should be able to tell Controller that no, you say you have 600,000 workers, you don't bring 600,000 deductions to us. So what is going on? Because if indeed all the Social Security numbers are valid and have an account, it will be difficult for any other person to put ghost name on the payroll.
You're still here on News Today. Thank you very much for your company. Let's now turn attention away from sports onto something else. You recall how 2014 was riddled with a lot of labor agitation. At some point, some labor unions went on strike in protest of one decision taken by the government or the other. The biggest of them all was the Tier 2 pension management controversy that landed 12 labor unions in court. What will year 2015 hold for them? Let's find out as I'm joined over the telephone by Ernest Opoku, who is with the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. Ernest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, and thanks for your company here on News Today.
Thank you very much.
What does this year look like as far as many of the demands that came up from labor is concerned? Last year's demands, what does this year look like?
Thank you very much, and thank you once again for your listeners who are listening to us. It's all the same, because the issue of Tier 2 is still going on. The very fact that politically was used as decided by the court, that we cannot be back on that until the pension matter is resolved. However, we have other with which we can press to our demand. The substantive matter is still before the law court. And so, but you see, the worrying aspect of it is that even though the matter is before, the government and parliament have gone ahead and they've amended some portions of the Pension Act. And it's a quite a serious that we are dealing with. And we believe that government keep our elections here and so that we can be able to.
Hello, Ernest. Hello, Ernest.
Hello.
The line has given us very terrible feedback. If you could reposition yourself,
Okay.
hopefully it would get better.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think you can hear me now.
I can. And just back it up a little for me.
Okay. All right then. Yeah. As I said, I think it's okay.
Right, very much so.
Yeah, 2015 is still the same because the matter is still before the law court. Unfortunately, Parliament amended some parts of the Pensions Act under the Certificate of Emergency. And we don't see why government should do that. It's quite a serious issue because we are talking about workers' pensions, workers' money. And so we are not going to sit down. Whatever we have to do as workers, as union leaders, to make sure that we fight for the interest of our members, we will do it. Even though the interlocutory injunction that was granted by the learned trial judge indicates that we cannot embark on strike so far as the matter is in court.
That's true.
Now, we still have other means with which we can press from our demand. We have demonstrations, we have other means. We even wish that we write officially to the diplomatic community in the country and let them know the reality on the ground, because we are talking about workers' money that have been deducted and we don't know where the money is. So whatever we have to do as union leaders to make sure that we fight for the interest of our members, we will do it.
So last year, no consensus was reached on Labour's biggest demand, which is the management of the Tier 2 pension contribution. Parliament, on the other hand, went ahead to amend the pensions law anyway. In year 2015, which of the options available to Labour would we see you apply?
We believe in, right from the beginning, we said that we believe in ABR. That is why we didn't take the matter to court in the first place. It was Attorney General that took the matter to court. We believe that moving forward 2015, we can do what is called proper negotiation. If negotiation would do, if government is ready to sit down with the labor union, we are also ready to sit down because it's about workers. And government is the #1 employer. So at the end of the day, if we are dictating, we are on strike, we are demonstrating, it goes against government a long run. So in my opinion, if government is ready to give us a lesson here, we are also ready to sit down with government and make sure that we resolve this issue once and for all.
Very well. But for you as teachers, it wasn't just the Tier 2 pension contribution management controversy. It also had to do with your incremental credits and in a long list of demands you made on government, demands that were due you. What's new with that?
I must say that none of the issues have been resolved. In fact, the last meeting we had with Labour Commission and the Minister of Finance, I remember Honorable Secretary was at the meeting and he promised that he was going to meet Cabinet because the amount involved is quite huge. They do believe that, they do agree that we're entitled to it, but they need Cabinet approval. And they promised meeting us on the 17th of December. Unfortunately, that meeting never saw the light of the day. So as I speak to you, we have officially written that we are in 2015 January. We want to know whether they've been able to get approval from Cabinet so that this issue of incremental credit can be paid once and for all. And we have put it on record that the money is for teachers, they're entitled to it, and that we are not going to forfeit it. So whatever we have to do to make sure that government pays the incremental credit, we will do it. And we believe that now that we started 2015, government should give us a listening ear. And we believe that they've also budgeted for some of the deferred payments for 2015. And so budgetary releases will come on time so that they can pay these monies once and for all, so that, we'll have industrial peace.
But we've always known the various labor unions to managed to put pressure on government one way or the other by employing all the tools available to it, including strike. So this year, what are the timelines you're working with?
I thank you very much. I can't really tell, and I wouldn't want to give timeline. We started the issue in 2014. 2014 has ended. We have not been able to resolve some of the major issues. And we believe that now that we started 2015, government should sit down with us and then see how best these issues can be resolved once and for all. The truth of the matter is that as labor union, we don't take delight in embarking on strike or demonstrating. We want to see demonstrating and strike as the last option. But even when you hit and hit and hit and it doesn't, then you have no option. But if government really want to have industrial peace in 2015, we believe that government should sit down with us so that we'll be able to resolve these issues once and for all, so that we see industrial harmony in 2015.
So you do not have intentions of embarking on any strike anytime soon?
Very, very, very soon. Very, very, very soon. I said earlier that we have officially written with respect to the incremental credit. We're written to Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, and National Labour Commission. We're only waiting for their response. If after 1 week they don't respond, we'll remind them again. And then if it demands that we have to embark on an industrial action, why not? We will give it to them. But you see, as I said, we don't take delight in embarking on action. We want to see how best we can negotiate and arbitrate and make sure that these issues are resolved once and for all.
And it's a pleasure talking to you. Ernest Opoku is president of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. We'll follow this closely. Do visit. I'm grateful you stayed through the hour with me here on News Today. Thank you very much for that. My name is Kemini Nyamani Amana. Good afternoon.